is we got two kind of ancient 19-year-old inverters and 21 kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries. I just bought naked cells and put them together with balancers and current shunts and everything myself.
Yeah. So what possesses a man to move out this out?
Yeah, I grew up in suburban and semi-rural and a little bit of city East Coast, and out of high school moved to Oakland, California. And
I'm so sorry.
yeah, well, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Got into computer work of various kinds, and that was great. But I couldn't stand the density. I couldn't stand the lack of real seasons. Too many different cultures crammed into too small of a place, so you couldn't have any kind of consistency or predictability about any social interaction. Too much noise, too much light. And I was looking for a way out, and I thought I was moving up to Canada to work on a wind energy project, and it fell through. And through fate and circumstance, ended up in this weird place.
When did your mom get out here?
She was about 2 years behind me.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful sound. Nice, soft, rhythmic, mechanical clicking.
Right.
This machine is made for a niche market. The Amish don't use electricity, of course, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they still want to do all the fancy shit that the new modern sewing machines do. So they made a machine without a motor that'll do everything a brand new modern sewing machine can do. Automatic buttonholes, fancy zigzags, and everything else. And it's made to just drop right into the old cabinet.
Yeah.
With the foot pedal.
That's cool.
And of course, living off grid is very, very sensible to have a machine that doesn't require electricity.
Yeah.
So this is a fabric that we're sewing together, and we want a nice tight bound edge. Watch what this fucker does. Look at that edge. Isn't that nice?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I have a good time in here. And I make all kinds of stuff. Like my little flyer says, if it's about sewing, bring it on.
Yeah.
But I started out, I've kind of been doing mending and alterations for people on and off for the last 20 years here. But January last year, I said, fuck it, I'm going to make it into a business.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing it 65 years now.
Right.
And I'm looking actually for an apprentice. And if you find the right person,
Yeah.
give my phone number and send them to me. I don't want to die and take what I've learned with me.
Yeah.
And when I go, it's gone.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody here.
That is such a huge problem, not just in every industry.
In everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's so many people they're either retiring or they're dying off, and then they just can't put any of the knowledge that they have.
Right.
Some are assholes and they don't want to, but
yeah, and well, the other thing is I want to leave the business to somebody.
yeah.
I'm not going to build a business like this and run it for 10 or 15 years or whatever I got left
Right.
and drop dead and have it all be thrown away.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
somebody's got to
stupid.
keep the business going. And made in USA, and it's not traceable.
Right.
So this is my partially done prototype. You have to buy the plates, and the plates go in. But I have so many projects going on. All the stuff fell off the house off the shelf in the windstorm. No wonder this table is such a mess. It all fell down from up there.
Hopefully it didn't hurt anything.
No,
I think you got an iron over here that fell, but
yeah, no, I leave that on its side.
no.
So it can't fall off in a windstorm, and get turned on by accident.
Ah, smart.
Burn the place down. Yeah, I have a good life here.
Yeah.
I do.
How long did you say you've been here now?
20 years, last
20
September
years.
26th.
Yeah.
I worked for that Mason in Oakland for 2 years. Saving up, and I was also involved in working a pot grow, and I worked in another place in a pot business, and I ended up getting ripped off and swindled out, and I got here with nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had that insurance settlement, about 40 grand. But even that house you can't build on 40 grand.
Yeah.
It was a pay-as-you-go deal.
Yeah.
And a lot of help from my friends and some help from George. And I'm really pleased. 20 years later, we got all this shit and no mortgage. Oh my God. It's awesome. This is a good life here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like you're just totally independent out
Nope.
here? No?
Nope. Yeah, like I said, I depend on gasoline and car parts and copper wire and silicon from China and
Yeah.
Starlink internet and rubber tires from Indonesia to keep all of my equipment moving. Like I'm absolutely dependent on all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I've chosen to undepend on some things. I don't have a mortgage.
Yeah.
I don't have a monthly payment that if I skip it because we're having hard times or a banking crisis or a health issue and we can't make, I'm not homeless.
Yeah.
I'm still here. So it's not so much that I've aimed for independence, because no matter what, I'm breathing the air that trees on the other side of the planet made.
Yeah.
It's interdependence is inevitable,
Right.
but I've tried to tune for some, let's not let things that go in weird or unpredictable directions affect critically important parts of my life.
So after leaving the homestead, I guess you'd call it, we decided to go to Rocky Mountain National Park. And that drive was probably the most stressful drive of my life. I am not sure what happened with my phone. It restarted because it overheated when we were at the hot springs, and since then it's just been acting very funny. My GPS got completely fucked up, and we ended up taking about a 45-mile detour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you live out here and you know the terrain, you know that is a wildly different drive than what it should have been. So we got here 2 hours later than we were supposed to. I stopped at 6 different campgrounds on the way until I finally found the one that we ended up at, and I paid $73 for an overnight spot with no hookups. On the way to the hot springs, I had a screw fall out of my office chair, and so the first thing that I did when I pulled into camp today was fix my office chair, which is about the last thing that I wanted to do, if we're being honest. I want to lay down and sleep. Today hasn't been the best van life day, to be honest. Today's been a little stressful, and it's okay. Everything worked out. We're safe. We have food. We've got gas. We've got power. Everything's fine, but it really did make me think when I sat down to start editing this video about what independence really means. I don't think that I've got a good answer as to what independence really means, but today has taught me that it is not easy. It is not what people show on social media, and there's challenges, and real independence means that you need to figure out your shit. You have to figure out your own problems. You have to build stuff. You have to know how to repair stuff. You have to, in a way, be self-sufficient, even if you're getting your food from grocery stores and whatever. There is a level of self-sufficiency that is absolutely rooted in independence. And I don't think that you could have one without the other. Fuck.